Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues, where playoffs continue, and now we are in the semifinals, and I am joined in the booth by the GOAT, Ventus. Ventus, man, how we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I just am so excited for this matchup. Origin obviously taking the reverse sweep victory against Gladiators in round one. Blackhawks taking that 4-2 victory against the Warhawks in round one. And with the disconnect, they won it in overtime in a 2v. Like, technically, the Warhawks were 2v3ing the Blackhawks for a little bit of time there. I mean, both those matchups were absolutely insane. Some might say that this semifinals could be a grand finals match value at least in the prospect league. So this is definitely one of the hypest matches we have.
Yeah, and we're just getting started off with an absolute banger. Like you said, I feel like these two teams are probably the favorites remaining. I will say, though, Origin, they looked rough against Gladiators, able to bring it back. Blackhawks, they looked rough against Warhawks, like we were talking about. So I'm not really sure if I trust either team, like to go and win it all. I don't know who I'm gonna pick here. To be honest, I'm still kind of thinking about it. But obviously, just looking at some of these players, there's some pretty big names. You got Hunzer and Air Sweeney on this Origin team who are pretty solid. I think it was Hunzer that's been kind of like lighting up the scene, and of course there's Rockerman too, I guess, but nobody really needs to talk about him. But and then on the other side, we got some absolute banger players. We got Kosh, Perky, and Juice Lo-Fi, or Lofi. Either way, that man, he was like a mid-season pickup. He has been a huge difference maker, and I expect him to pop off this series.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams started out a little bit slow. I think I'm really looking for Kosh to step up big for the Blackhawks. He didn't have a great series against Warhawks, and I feel like he was a little bit lackluster. You talked about Juice Lo-Fi. He was absolutely phenomenal in that Warhawks series. He was a big
Hmm.
reason that they were able to win. So obviously him having a big game is going to be really good. But then on the other side, I feel like Hunzer for Origin started out really, really slow, but then he absolutely popped off in the second half of the series and like absolutely took the Gladiators players completely off guard and kind of breathed new signs of life into that Origin squad, helping them propel them to that reverse sweep. So I mean, if either of these teams can come out hot and take the early couple of games, I think it's going to be very crucial for the rest of the series. Obviously, both these teams kind of start out a little bit slow anyways, but if you can steal a game here with both these teams ramping it up towards the second half, one game could be the difference.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just about like you said, starting off strong because these teams, man, I don't know. I want to see you. I want to get into this action, Vincent. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get a prediction out of you, real quick because I'm still deliberating on mine and I'm stalling. Who
You
you got?
know, I think I got to give it to Origin here. I think that they figured out their play style. They were able to counteract and kind of like outweight the Gladiators. They started looking really, really good. We started to see their momentum back. They had a lot of pressure at Rockman getting those demos. Hunzer just putting on all the pressure. Air Sweeney putting great shots on net. I think that Origin are going to be able to build off the momentum that they had in their win against the Gladiators and come out stronger than Blackhawks, and I think that's going to be the biggest difference.
Yeah, and already early on, Blackhawks a little bit of pressure, but a couple not touches came through, and so they had to relieve the pressure over to Origin. A bump here on Air Sweeney is a good 50 there from Rockerman, but he's backwards. Going to get a follow as Perky launches that ball high. Trying to get a follow-up. Juice Lo-Fi going to leave that one as no touch comes out from Hunzer. Air Sweeney, not a lot of boost work with on the sidewall. Two players there. Juice able to get the touch. Rockerman able to get the follow. Able to get a clear pass one. Perky last man back. Does Perky have the touch off the back wall? No, but that ball in a dangerous spot. Hunzer's shot going to be wide. Juice gonna leave that one for Perky. Doesn't have a lot of boost. 12 boost to work with, trying to go for a 50, and a good 50 it is. Hunzer not going to jump for that ball as Kosh now trying to chase it down. Rockerman with not a good 50, but Hunzer is going to be there. Over to Rockerman. Rockerman with one touch, trying to get it over Perky. He does. Can he get the follow? No, Perky. Good patience there as he's able to get the clear, and Rockerman kind of leading the charge so far for this Origin team as they're continuing the pressure. Rockerman with the shot there as well. Kosh with a great save, and now Perky on the other end trying to get a clear. Air Sweeney with a nice touch, and Origin, they're getting some good answers. A couple shots here from both teams, but pretty easy save so far. Ventus just kind of feeling each other out. Game one always kind of feels like this And I feel like it's been Origin with the most opportunities, but still no goals to show for it
Yeah,
until
I
right
think
now.
Blackhawks have been a little bit panicky. You see a double commit there, almost turning into a goal with a great shot from Rockerman. But I mean, I feel like Blackhawks have been a little bit too jumpy. They haven't been very calm. We see a lot of the times they panic and go for these touches with low boost, can't really keep the possession, and then it falls right back into the Origin hands. And Origin just love to play that way. They love to just accept that ball in the midfield from these missed touches or these misplays with low boost. And it really starts this boa constrictor action where Hunzer might be able to get a shot off here, but a good demo in the midfield on Air Sweeney is actually going to relieve a lot of pressure for the Blackhawks. And I feel like once the Blackhawks settle in, they will be a lot more threatening. But until then, they just have to lock down on defense. They have to not throw away possession.
Yeah, some good attempts from both teams, and like you said, it does feel like a little bit jumpy, but a double commit from Origin. It caused two players to be downfield, but still no real threatening shots coming through. Rockerman now trying to find a teammate, but couldn't get it around one. Kosh in the air, going for the double touch. Air Sweeney able to get a piece of it, and no one there from the Blackhawks. A good demo came out in the midfield. Air Sweeney gets dunked by Juice. Hunzer's there for the shot. Perky with a nice dunk. Just Rockerman back, not a lot of boost. Air Sweeney, he gets a touch because the demo came through on Rockerman. Perky, or sorry, Kosh with the shot. Air Sweeney puts that one up high. Perky's going to be there. Rockerman able to get a touch, sends that ball way long, right over Juice's head. Juice now racing back, just trying to get a little touch on it, but kind of rushed it once again. Like you said, just a little jumpy. Kosh now in the air. Can't be so dangerous. Going for the cringe. Doesn't get the touch. Juice Lo-Fi. Not a great shot. Rocketman had to clear to the corner. A double commit here, though, could result in more pressure. Juice Lo-Fi to the side wall and a shot. Kosh able to get the 50. I thought a save could have come through, but just the bigger player with the goal.
Yeah, I expected Hunzer to really flip into this one, really play into the early 50 to kind of block more of the net, but he kind of gives away that high 50 angle where it just pushes the ball up into the top of the net. And Blackhawks, they started to turn on the heat there in the second half of this game. I feel like Origin was feeling the pressure. They were getting demoed a lot as that on their third man especially. We saw this where Sweeney had to make a diving save back and then had to make another follow-up save off of a demo from Perky on Rockerman. And so it feels like Blackhawks kind of settled in pretty well. They're starting to go for these demo plays, especially trying to catch the third man of Origin out in rotation. And it's worked out really well. It's allowed them to keep a lot of pressure. And it hasn't allowed Origin to really get anything going. They've constantly been demoed. They've constantly started to get their boost taken because they haven't been able to secure their corners with the constant demo of their third man. And so I feel like Origin a little bit succumbing to the pressures. Kosh getting another shot on net, and now Blackhawks are out shooting Origin
Oh,
11-1.
the Goomba almost came through. The shot was just off target, and still more pressure here from the Blackhawks. I felt like they weathered the storm that was the Origin offense, and they have just been turning on the gas ever since. And with 30 seconds left, they're trying to make one more goal to seal the deal. Can Kosh do it here? That one not going to be on target as Rockerman trying to tie up this game. Out to Air Sweeney. Air Sweeney back to Rockerman. Rockerman to the corner. Rockerman looking for a pass mid. He's going to try to hit it down. Air Sweeney's going to be there. Air Sweeney puts it away. 13 seconds left. The game is tied.
Yeah, Rockerman did such a great job of controlling that play there, taking it a little bit slow on the back wall, forcing a challenge out of the Blackhawks defender, and then just tapping it out to his teammates lying in wait. I feel like the Origin roster, even though they haven't had as many shots, I feel like they've passed really well. Rockerman has found Hunzer and Sweeney very well in the outlets, into turning into counterattacks. And I feel like they've been able to turn a lot of that pressure away because of those passing out into the midfield. And Origin obviously getting a goal there off of a pass. But we're going to game overtime in game number 1.
Game 1 OT. You couldn't ask for more here. Now, a kickoff goal would be unfortunate, but not going to happen there as Air Sweeney smartly rotated back, like everybody should do off of kickoff. As now, Juice couldn't get a touch there as Air Sweeney's going to put another one on target. Oh my goodness, the snipe! To the corner, 12 seconds is all it took, and Air Sweeney is the player to make it happen.
Yeah, and looks like Juice Lo-Fi kind of expecting a little bit of maybe an air dribble control touch, but instead Juice Lo-Fi just absolutely bangs that ball to the backboard, reads the bounce really well. That last man back in Perky wasn't able to read that bounce from the the top of the waterfall there, and that one's going to bounce right down. He places it perfectly bottom left too, by the way. I mean, absolutely phenomenal placement. And even though we talked about Blackhawks having all that pressure, 11 shots to 4, Origin bunkered down. They had 10 saves of their own. I mean, they were not succumbing to the pressure at all. They played their patient waiting game, looked for those cracks in the counterattacks. They passed the ball out really well into the outlets. And I mean, they kind of played a different game from what I've seen from them. I know a lot of the time they're the suffocating offense where they're constantly getting those demos with Rockerman hunting, head hunting, and I mean we're kind of relying on Hunzer to do these solo plays. But this is the first time I've seen Origin kind of play a little bit more passive, allow that pressure to come in, just look for the outlets and play the counterattack. And I feel like that's something that Origin has done really well, but we haven't seen much out of them.
Yeah, and I will say, it's not like this Origin team wasn't on offense. Like they were playing good offense, they just didn't have the shots. So I felt like they were just taking their time with their chances. It was kind of a quality versus quantity kind of game here. A lot of pop shots, a lot of just kind of sitting at the net, hope something sticks from the Blackhawks. And I felt like every time that Origin were on offense, they were looking for a pass, they were looking for an opportunity for a teammate, not just putting a shot on net and giving the ball away. Air Sweeney, he had one insane goal. He did score two, but that overtime goal was the game winner. Trying to look for an early one there, couldn't get it. There's Perky now, a little bit of control. Air Sweeney with a good challenge. No boost for Perky, so that ball gets 50. Hunzer over to Rockerman. Another great dunk there from Kosh, but Hunzer, the only one with boost, he's going to try to get a touch. That one's going to go out mid to Rockerman. Rockerman immediately on top of that to the corner. Juice, one touch. Can he get the follow-up? No, it's going to be Kosh trying to follow that one towards the sidewall. Kosh looking for a pass mid. Rockerman dunked already. Perky towards the corner looking for the read. Oh my goodness, Perky does it himself. What a dunk.
Perky's been hitting the gym lately. I mean, we see that right there. He was able to just absolutely dunk Hunzer, put that ball in the top left, top of the net, giving Blackhawks another lead once again. And I mean, I feel like that was a slight misplay from Origin. They started diving a lot into their own corner. You see the corners, especially on the defensive side, aren't super threatening. And so when you start committing players with low boost into these corners, from the Origin side, they weren't able to get the relief and pressure that they wanted. Sweeney ended up taking a full dive with low boost, not able to rotate himself back in time, and that's when we see the pressure really start to mount for the Blackhawks. The Origin kind of played a little panic there, allowed that space that Perky was able to capitalize and get the absolute dunk of his life. So a good play from Blackhawks, but you want to see more from Origin.
Yeah, good dunk there from Air Sweeney, though. Could result in a goal here. Hunzer not able to get to it before Perky does. Able to clear it to the corner. And Rockerman, dangerous challenge there. I think he was last man, and Air Sweeney able to get back in time. Juice, though, with a nice shot. Hunzer with a nice save. Off to the sidewall. Kosh already up for that one. Perky taking the back corner. Boost a little awkward. Kosh leaves that ball. Air Sweeney's shot. Is it on target? It is. Juice couldn't get there. The placement from Air Sweeney has been beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Juice left by a little bit of a misflip there. It looked like he could have potentially gotten to that ball, but maybe the inputs weren't in his favor on that one. But a good shot nonetheless for Air Sweeney, putting that on target, just forcing the opposition to make a save. And I mean, Juice Lo-Fi was awkward anyways. He didn't have a lot of boost, but here he is this time looking for an air dribble, trying to get past three. Super awkward. Perky, though, not able to make that finish. It looked like Perky might have had an open net if he could have read that bounce off the back wall. And I feel like Blackhawks needed to convert that one, needed to get the pressure back because you do not want Origin to start ramping up.
Yeah, Origin, they can really just turn it on whenever they need to, but Blackhawks, I feel like they're capable of the same thing. Those kinds of shots, they can start making those, and it can be a whole different game. And one missed touch there. Kosh now trying to find a pass, and that one goes way high. That one's still going to be met, though, by Juice. And Perky, is he going to be there? A dunk comes through. Kosh already up in the air. The shot. Great pressure there from Blackhawks. Oh, my goodness. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Blackhawks do best. Their speed on the offensive side of the ball is so good. Kosh, a great shot on net. Perky, a good dunk, and forcing the double commit. Juice Lo-Fi had a great read off the backboard, able to put that one for a pass to Perky. And I mean, it's just a great little 1-2-3 play against Origin. A miss here. This might be a goal as Hunzer
Oh,
not able to get a touch on that one, and that one is going to find the back of the net. It looks like he ended up getting a touch after the ball was shot, not being able to put that one off, trying to play the block there, but it didn't matter anyways, as that one is going to find the back of the net, and Blackhawks looking a lot more dominant. Well, not necessarily dominant. I feel like they had a lot of pressure. They had a bunch of shots, but it looks like they're just finding the back of the net more. Maybe some more of Origin miscommunications on defense, and they're breaking down the defense a little better. So these shot opportunities are turning more frequently into goals.
yeah, this Origin team, they can't play perfect on defense all the time. Like they played pretty dang close to it in game one, and here we're seeing some cracks in the armor. But they also have some offense of their own. That one not going to come through, but it was only because of a juice touch with no boost. So they have their own chances as well. Rockerman trying to create a chance here, trying to get the dunk, and he does. That one kind of awkward for Kosh, but Kosh able to get a nice clear. Hunzer popping that ball up high. Air Sweeney, he's the man to do it, and oh my goodness, give him another.
Yeah, I mean, a great shot there once again. It looked like the defender might have gotten a slight touch, but Juice Lo-Fi with zero boost kind of just has to put a hand up. He's got to try to block as much of the net as possible with the incoming shot being inevitable, as Air Sweeney being that shooter so far for Origin. I mean, I'm pretty sure he might have scored every single goal so far for Origin. He has 2 this game. He scored 2 last game. I mean, he's just been absolutely dominant when it comes to his shooting. And I mean, it's also thanks to his teammates. They were helping getting some beats in the midfield on the players of the Blackhawks, allowing Sweeney, where they're whittling down the defense, they're taking the boost where Juice Lo-Fi had 0 boost to make a save. And I mean, it worked out. Sweeney, a great shooter there, but I mean, you got to also congratulate the teammates of Origin for helping put him in that situation.
Yeah, now can they make another one happen? It's been Air Sweeney that's, he's been the finisher, but it's been, oh my goodness, it's Air Sweeney again. Give him the hat trick. Give him 5 goals this series. Origin, man. Give props to this man right here. A great read and some missed touch there from Perky and Ventus. It just seems like it's the Air Sweeney show whenever they get on offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's done really well to get beats on the Blackhawks players who have been diving or overcommitting. And then he's also maintained possession as well. We saw he was able to put that one off the corner and then follow that one up while being able to beat members of the Blackhawks defense. But this one is all Blackhawks. They just absolutely decimated the Origin defense, and it looks like Juice Lo-Fi was going to be the one to get that goal. But, I mean, a great play there from Kosh.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason this team is worth, like, I don't know, 7 first-round picks, something like that, 8 first-round picks. I don't know how many Crips spent on them, but they're there. They're worth that many for a reason, because they can pull off stuff like that. So hopefully we get to see more of that as this series continues, but this game still not over yet. Air Sweeney's trying to make another one happen, and Juice was not letting him get a free shot on that one. Rockerman trying to be a little Air Sweeney himself, trying to put that one bottom corner. Couldn't make that happen, as now Juice trying to get a long clear. Rockerman was up 2. Air Sweeney gets bumped, still able to get back to that ball right over Coach's head. Rockerman with 1 touch. Perky got a lot of boost, has to pop it over to Air Sweeney. Can't be dangerous. That ball going mid now. Hunzer gets dunked by Kosh, and that one goes long. 20 seconds remaining. Rockerman trying to get this ball clear, trying to get an opportunity started. It's going to be an Air Sweeney opportunity, though, as Hunzer going to pass it back to him. That one off the back wall. There's no follow-up. Kosh now going to go for the free goal and put the dagger away. That one going to be the Blackhawks victory here for game 2, a 5-3 victory. Maybe it might, there's still time. Let me hold my horse a little bit, Ventus, but that one looked like a great opportunity, and I think if Air Sweeney just shot the ball instead of putting it off backboard, could have been a tied game.
Yeah, I just think that the angle of the shot was really awkward. Hunzer didn't do that great of a job to put it in a situation where Air Sweeney could easily put that one on net. He really had to work for it, and obviously when it comes off the backboard like that with such speed and turns into a counterattack, you committed all 3 players of the Origin side to offense. You had Hunzer passing it to Sweeney, Rockerman going for the bumps. I mean, it was an all or nothing play. I can't be upset for Origin for trying it. I think that they were so close to converting that opportunity as well. If they were able to score that, absolutely momentum changer, especially forcing overtime in this game number 2. They had already taken game number 1. I think that you can't fault them too much for wanting to go all out, play super aggressive, but obviously Blackhawks held on defense, were able to counterattack pretty easily, and they were able to take game number 2 pretty convincingly. I think that these teams are very, very close, neck and neck. I think it'll come down to the wire. We're gonna need so many more pop-off games from Sweeney or from obviously stepping up from Hunzer there. We need to see him start popping off as well. But I mean, the Blackhawks look pretty poised. All of them playing pretty well, all things considered. And this one might be in. Is it just going to go off the crossbar? Perky not able to read that one. There's no follow-up from the Blackhawks roster on offense. And it looks like that one, the Origin roster, is going to run away with an absolutely criminal play.
Yeah, and now counterattack opportunity. Kosh just able to beat out Rockerman, though. And now Kosh with some boost, and he can be dangerous. That one to the backboard. Hunzer defending the backboard, and Sweeney couldn't get a touch, but Rockerman's able to get a long one. Hunzer now trying to get the read. Does he have it? No, but Juice does. One now, a clear and a long clear. Could be an opportunity. Is anybody back? Juice puts it off. Perky couldn't get the shot. That one could have been a great goal for Blackhawks, and Origin again counting their lucky stars, because my goodness, that's probably 2 goals that should have been in right now.
Yeah, you definitely got to convert these in a do or die. You know, this is the semifinals. You need to play up to your stuff. You need to play to your potential. It looks like Blackhawks a little bit of a faltering here early in game number 3, but I mean they are still tied 1-1. Even though they didn't convert on the offense, it's not like it's turned into any counterattack goals where they've been punished by not being able to finish the shots. But as I say that, this might be a punish here as Rockerman looking for a shot on net. This one going to go top left, but saved away by Kosh. The follow-up from Hunzer. All the Blackhawks players look like they're bumping each other. They're all awkward. Kosh getting a great clear, though. Able to get maybe a bump on Sweeney. And it looks like Blackhawks are able to stave off that Origin pressure and hang on for the time being.
Hunzer with a nice pass as well. Thought he might get the dunk on Perky, but Perky instead gets a great 50 on Rockerman. Air Sweeney, 0 boost, still gets a great touch. That ball gets pinched by Kosh as now Juice with 1 touch pops it high as Rockerman able to get a long clear down to Hunzer. Perky off the side wall, but it's going to be Air Sweeney going for the shot, and Kosh had to stop that one before it really got started. Hunzer, though, with another dangerous pass off the back wall. These guys, this Origin team really has started to turn it up, but that double commit results in a counterattack opportunity. Juice going for the reset. It's going to leave it for Kosh. That one off the back wall, and Perky elects not to go. Kind of, relaxing a little bit. Third man doesn't want to commit too hard. Doesn't get the touch, but gets a nice fake instead as Juice able to get the clear. Kosh now, no touch. Juice kind of awkward. Nobody was ready from Origin. That ball high. Air Sweeney couldn't get a nice touch on it. I think Hunzer was waiting for a pass, but instead it's going to be a counterattack here. Hunzer, though, with a nice long clear. Kosh, first one there, gets a nice touch, but Hunzer, Perky, I thought he was on Origin for a second. I thought that was going to be a beautiful play, but instead Blackhawks, they're going to retain possession a little bit, but that one going to go over to Hunzer. Hunzer with a beat on one. Rockerman with a shot. That one's going to go out the back wall. Hunzer with the free net. Juice was there under the ball, but he helps Hunzer out getting that goal, and finally it's not Air Sweeney on the board.
Yeah, and that's a great pass by Rockerman, electing not to necessarily just try to shoot through 2 defenders. He sees the double commit happening. They're both diving to try to block, and he just elects to put it around them. And Hunzer, he was the one who got the first beat in the midfield on the hard challenge by the Blackhawks player. I mean, these Blackhawks players, especially on defense, they seem a little bit full dive commit happy. They aren't willing to kind of fake challenge or stay a little bit more grounded and wait for the pressure. But I don't know what's happening to Origin either. They don't seem to want to be grounded at all, as Juice Lo-Fi able to just recover onto the ground for that one. Hunzer not able to get a touch. It looks like Rockerman kind of playing the block, but ends up bumping Hunzer out of the way of a potential save, and that's absolute devastation for Origin.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. I think Rockerman definitely could have had that save, but, I think Origin should have been scored on twice at this time already. So, there's give and take to it all. A goal almost going through there, but Air Sweeney gets a nice touch. As now Air Sweeney trying to find a pass mid. Instead, he finds some air as Kosh now looking for a pass, but gets a good 50 instead as Rockerman able to get a long clear. Perky going to leave that one for Juice. That one off the sidewall. Juice now trying to get a follow-up. It's going to be Perky with a nice dunk. Perky trying to not go for the follow, going for the bump instead. Hunzer kind of awkward. Kosh taking his time. Gets a good 50. That one's still rolling up. Rockerman able to get a long clear and back straight to that corner. Juice, once again, trying to get a touch. Gets it around one, and Air Sweeney. Hunzer, last man back. Perky now with a nice shot. Oh, the pass into the shots. Juice was also going for the bump as well. Kind of an impossible situation here for Hunzer.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great play. I want to talk about Perky was able to take both the Origin boost and the mid boost, taking away all of the resources from Origin. It forced Air Sweeney and Rockerman into bad challenges, and it allowed this counterattack to happen where Perky was able to get the pass from Juice Lo-Fi, who played that possession perfectly, slowing the play down, knowing that Hunzer is all by himself on a complete island. And I mean, the Blackhawks just played that scenario so well, where they were able to hoard all the resources for themselves, wait for the counterattack,
Oh,
and absolutely decimate the net. But that one isn't going to go on target. They weren't able to decimate the net that time because they weren't able to find the back of it.
yeah, the crossbar, though, it's a little banged up after that one. That one was a beautiful shot from Juice, but just not low enough. But now it's Perky's turn. Oh, my goodness. He gets bumped, though. Can't get the double. And a double commit here from Origin. Rockerman trying to get back to that ball. Kosh with one nice touch, trying to get a pass over to Juice. Juice with a nice shot. Air Sweeney kind of awkward, still able to make the save. And Hunter with a beautiful touch as well. Juice now just has to waste 10 seconds. He takes us to his corner. Doesn't get the touch. Gonna leave it for Kosh. Kosh, that one gonna bounce up high. Hunter kind of awkward. Gets a nice high touch. Juice, first one there, though, beats Rockerman. Air Sweeney has to keep that ball alive, and it's going to hit the ground. Blackhawks go up 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about it pretty frequently, but I feel like the boost management from Origin wasn't enough. Blackhawks were able to starve them for a majority of that second half. They're able to just keep them from having extended looks on offense, and really just they played really well. I mean, I think that the Blackhawks, even though the scoreline was 2-1, they had two or three more chances that could have been goals where they just weren't able to find the back, like put it on target. And so, I mean, if they were able to sink those in, it would be 5-1. I think that Origin didn't look nearly as good as they did in game 1 and 2. I think that Blackhawks have started to pull away a little bit. Origin's going to have to step up big time. They're going to have to play a little bit more grounded and controlled, especially if they keep getting boost starved.
Yeah, and I feel like, we're looking at the scoreline, it's 2-1, but you got to remember, Origin, they were down that whole game until 12 seconds left, and then Air Sweeney took it in overtime with 12 seconds into overtime. So Origin really have only been leading in this series, not that much. I couldn't tell you the exact number, but for not that very long. It's been kind of Blackhawks taking full control. So now Perky gonna get dunked by Air Sweeney there, and now Juice. Long touch as Hunter's going to be the first one there. Kosh on the backboard. That one straight down, though. Rockerman could get a touch. Gets dunked by Kosh. Oh, my goodness. Kosh got a flip as well. Can he get the follow? No. Air Sweeney's going to be there. Hunter with a nice touch. Not letting anybody from the Blackhawks get a touch on that one. Perky 0 boost. Trying to get the dunk, but Hunzer is going to be the one winning that challenge as Juice now tries to get past Air Sweeney. Air Sweeney with a nice fake. Rockerman too far up. Perky. One high touch. Hunzer already up in the air for it. Kosh now trying to get a turn, but Air Sweeney's already there. Juice, last man back. Gets a nice save towards the sidewall. Rockerman, last man. He's going to have to go for that one. Almost got demoed as well. Perky with some boost, trying to get the clear. Pops that one up high. Not a lot of boost on the side of Origin. Air Sweeney pops that one up high. Rockerman, he's in the air, but Juice is going to take his time on that one. Rockerman gets a nice boost steal and a demo. Kosh, last man back. That ball going to be floating in the midfield. Oh, Hunter with the bump. Air Sweeney going to get that goal.
Yeah, I mean, Origin, I don't like the way that they were able to get this goal. It seemed like they were playing very erratic, very dive heavy, hoping to just continuously beat out the Blackhawks players. And I mean, it works out for them here, but I saw a lot of the time where they're absolutely 0 boost, just trying to dive and play the block. And I feel like that's not a recipe for a long-term success. It obviously nets them one goal here as they're able to beat out Kosh as that last defender and then bump the respawning player of Blackhawks. I believe it was Perky. And I mean, it works for them here. I don't like it for the long-term outlook, but if they need one goal and one goal only, it works definitely for them, at least in that sense. And hopefully they'll able to continue or build off of that momentum.
Yeah, Air Sweeney now trying to get a nice pass over to Hunzer there. That's a much cleaner play from Origin. Just a nice, good control here from Air Sweeney. Doesn't have a lot of boost, but, he don't need it. Just a really good control. And I think he got a bump on Kosh, or Kosh bumped him. I don't know, but still, I think that's kind of what you want to see more of Ventus. They kind of were doing that in the first game. They were really looking for passes. They weren't just overextending. But that time, they were really able to make it work, and Hunter putting that one away. Air Sweeney with a nice assist. And Origin now, they seem to be a little bit more comfortable. A 2-0 lead. Haven't seen this from them at all. So hopefully Blackhawks can have an answer, because right now it's been all Origin.
Yeah, I think that Origin has looked a lot better in the sense that they are finding each other with more passes. They've been holding the possession a lot longer as well. We've seen a lot of these plays where Sweeney is able to get a beat or on one or two by keeping the ball really close to his car and kind of playing like a dribble play, and then taking up the back wall and passing it out when there's a defender committing on him. And I feel like that's worked really well, but I didn't really see it in game 2 or 3, and I mean, that might be something that Origin's looking to go back to, noticing that their passing plays were lacking. They weren't able to kind of use the outlets to break out on defense nearly as much and kind of succumb to the pressure of Blackhawks, especially in the last 2 games. So hopefully some signs of life. It seems to be working out for them, at least for now, but obviously Blackhawks don't want to keep it that way.
Blackhawks, they really need a goal, and I feel like just for like momentum. Obviously, there's still 2 minutes left on the clock, plenty of time. But these players, I find these players, they want the goal now. They are looking to score as soon as possible. As Perky was up for a crazy one. Juice now with an awkward touch. Rockerman could put a shot on target. He's just gonna play that one to the corner. Look for a demo. But it's gonna be a double attempt. That one just hitting the crossbar. Rockerman and Air Sweeney do double commit though. So last man back, Hunzer, who kind of has been that last man back. It feels like Rockerman and Air Sweeney, they've double committed a couple times in that corner too. And Hunzer has been a solid third man for him. A double commit there from Rockerman and Air Sweeney again. That shot though just high. Can a follow come through? Juice. That one gonna get saved away, and a couple bad double commits from Origin result in some shot attempts from Blackhawks. Still nothing coming through. Perky now trying to get a 50. Juice trying to get the shot. That one gonna get saved away by Hunzer. Kosh gets in one more touch. Can he get the follow? No. Rockerman with a nice dunk. Juice trying to get behind him, going for a bump, but Rockerman with a great 50, and Air Sweeney just diving straight in, trying to get the pass over to Hunzer. Coach puts that one up high. Rockerman, no boost to work with, still just goes. Does not matter. Boost, no boost, don't care. I'm going for the ball. Now, Air Sweeney diving at that one. Perky with no boost, so Juice able to pinch that one long. Rockerman waiting back, just trying to survive for the next 40 seconds. That's all they got to do here. Hunzer trying to get a clear. That one going to go over to Air Sweeney. Juice just not able to get to it, and it seems like the Blackhawks have just stepped off the gas. Guys, you got 30 seconds left. You're down by 2. We got to make a play happen. Rockerman, not a lot of boost to work with. Perky's able to get a pop over one. Juice shot just off target, and Air Sweeney's able to get the save. Kosh doesn't get the read on the jump, and now he's going to have to turn around for it. Doesn't get the touch there either, and everything is falling apart here for the Blackhawks with 10 seconds remaining. Seems like it's all but over. Now Kosh, the long clear, just kind of running the clock out at this point. Origin gonna take this game, tie up the series, and maybe one more. No, Origin gonna take this game for a great game from them, and Blackhawks just they couldn't put a shot on target, it felt like.
Yeah, I think that Origin just did really well to hold on. They did, especially in that second half, they didn't really double commit all that much on defense, more than they had to. And even when they were low boost, they were able to hold the ball really well, slow the pace of play, and force these bad challenges from the Blackhawks that allowed them to just break out, secure the boost in the end, and stop the pressure from mounting even further. And I feel like Blackhawks just kind of stayed their welcome on the offensive side of the ball. I think that they kind of started making too many cuts in rotation, didn't allow the possession to come back to them, tried to make too many forced challenges, and they weren't all that great. I don't think that their challenges were very good this game. I think that they need to settle down a little bit more. I think they know that they're faster than the players on Origin individually, and they need to use that to their advantage. But it's when they start to do that too much, they start to overuse their boost. They start to take bad challenges, just trying to get 50s instead, and trying to play blocks. And I feel like they need to play a little bit safer. They need to know that they can keep their speed up, but they need to choose when to turn on the burners.
Yeah, as now there's trying to turn on the burners there. Juice Lo-Fi now got to turn on the burners to get back on defense, and he's able to just barely. Hunter trying to continue the pressure, though. Rockerman 0 boost, not able to get the touch, and Origin, they are all committed. No touch there, though, from Kosh, but he's able to get the bump, continuing this pressure. Hunzer able to get one touch. A double commit there from Rockerman and Hunzer, but that ball still just bouncing straight towards the net. Hunzer not able to put that shot on target. Juice now trying to grab that boost and go for the ball, and he does. Able to get one touch as Perky now trying to clear that ball down to him. Gets it past another Origin player. Perky with a great touch there, trying to get that ball out of the corner. Air Sweeney. Oh my goodness, Perky from the ceiling out of nowhere. Kosh now with the I don't know, the wrecking ball. That man was just 50ing everybody. Origin able to settle down just a little bit. And once again, I felt like we saw so many double commits out of Origin and just no capitalization out of Blackhawks. And I want to see them try to capitalize on the easy opportunities like that one right there. Kosh with a great read and a great shot. Like, this is not an easy shot to make. This is not a great or easy read to make either, and he just does it beautifully.
It looked like Air Sweeney had no respect that Kosh was going to be able to read that ball. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that they were willing to commit that hard for Origin as that third man, especially having a tied game. You don't necessarily want to play that aggressive yet. Obviously, when you're up by 2 goals and you have that leeway, but when you're going to go down, it seems like a hard commit on third man is never the correct answer. But the Blackhawks are able to catch them out of that and put on a nice counterattack. It was a great read by Kosh there. But I think that the Blackhawks haven't done that great either, especially with their third man commits. We've seen a lot of the same commits coming out from Blackhawks, but they just haven't been capitalized on. There are a lot of times where Juice Lo-Fi had to rush back to net with absolutely 0 boost just to put it off target, and if the ball was hit any harder towards the net, it probably would have led to an Origin goal, which is never a good sign when you're that close to letting up a bunch of goals. But Juice Lo-Fi, great catch. Almost a shot there, but I mean, Blackhawks still putting on a lot of pressure, and I couldn't ask for anything else from them.
Yeah, they're doing what they do best, you know, and sometimes it gets a little scary on defense, but yeah, we're in Prospect. It always gets a little scary on defense, let's be honest. So Kosh now trying to continue the pressure, though, but it's going to be Juice instead. He's going to have to get a pop over Hunzer, and he does a great air dribble there. As Rockerman not able to get the touch in Air Sweeney. Look out, buddy. You're gone. Rockerman, though, he's able to get the save. Nobody from Blackhawks was there. A great demo, though. A great play from Juice as Hunzer now able to get the long clear. Perky, last man back, and great touch there, stalling Hunzer. As Hunter still able to get a nice 50, but Juice pops that ball up high. Nobody from Origin up in the air. A great shot there as Air Sweeney able to get a nice save, and that one bouncing down kind of awkward. A demo as Juice, and then maybe look for another touch here. That one off the back wall. It's going to be Kosh passing it mid. A great play. Wow, Kosh with the vision.
Oh, that's a great pass. I mean, it was a good... I like the demo from Juice, trying to break up the defense, and then he's able to get the cut, especially. Then Kosh, a great pass to Perky. Perky absolutely slotting in the back of the net. That's a great play from the Blackhawks, something we haven't really seen. We've seen a lot of their solo plays work out really well, but we haven't necessarily seen a lot of these stringed passing plays. But I mean, when they can put them together, those things are so threatening, and they have the ability, they have the mechanical skill. And we see another pass coming out, but the shot a little bit weak, allowing that save to come out, and it looks like maybe Perky was overcommitted just a little bit. But Blackhawks probably going to turn up the aggression to a whole nother level, being up, having that leeway. I can see them absolutely going full out and diving, because the worst thing that happens is they go back to a 1-goal lead, and Origin got to make something happen.
Origin, they really have been looking for an opportunity here. As Air Sweeney tried to pass that one down, Rockerman trying to keep that ball in play. No touch there coming out from him, though. As Perky's able to get a nice long clear, waste even more time. Air Sweeney trying to take a little bit of control. Going towards the sidewall, and Juice is going to have a nice challenge there. Hunter towards the back wall gets demoed, though, but it was a double commit, but Rockerman gets bumped as well. That one, a long clear. Juice gets a touch over Hunter. Air Sweeney, last man back. Perky pops that ball high. Rockerman doesn't have a lot of boost. Able to get one touch. Can he get the follow? Kosh not challenging, so it's going to be another pass, though, and Kosh has been diming up this middle, but still, Blackhawks playing a little patient, not forcing too hard. Perky not going for that one either, as Hunzer now trying to get the long clear, trying to get a pass downfield, maybe that one towards the corner. Kosh, no boost, off the ceiling. Can he get the follow-up touch? No, it's going to be Rockerman back in that corner with 48 seconds left. A good challenge there from Air Sweeney, but a long clear. Perk not able to get that shot, but Juice now in the air. Juice can be so dangerous. The flip reset goes for the fake instead. Kosh fakes as well. Gets a one around Air Sweeney, but Hunzer already there on top of it. As Kosh now passing it back. They realize that, hey, they're up by 2. They don't got to score. But, man, guess who does? It's Origin. It's Air Sweeney.
Looks like Perky just not getting the best touch there. Kind of gives it away as a pass to Air Sweeney. Juice Lo-Fi a little bit too pushed up as third man. He kind of expecting Perky to get a beat on them there. Playing a little bit too optimistic. And he gets caught out with Kosh not fully rotating back yet. And a great shot there by Air Sweeney. Origin, 7 saves. Only and they've done pretty well to hold on to the defensive side of the ball, and once again relying on Air Sweeney to get these goals. As this one might be another shot by Air Sweeney, but that one perfectly saved away by Juice Lo-Fi. But the pressure is starting to mount with 10 seconds left. Kosh trying to keep it down. Air Sweeney looking for a shot. Hunzer gets a beat on Juice Lo-Fi, but this one gonna pop back onto the sidewall. Juice Lo-Fi getting a long clear down. This one is gonna be hard to bring back, and that one is going to drop. The Blackhawks take game number 5 and now are just 1 game away from the series victory.
One more is all it's going to take. Rockerman going to take that timeout as well. Good defense coming out from Blackhawks at the end there, but it was definitely scary. Air Sweeney, Rockerman, they put up the defensive performance, but I felt like it was Hunzer. That was kind of that third man that kind of just, he didn't have to save shot. Oh my, excuse me. He didn't have to save shots, but he was able to continue the pressure for Origin. But man, their shots just comparative to Blackhawks, I felt like Origin just isn't getting as many quality opportunities, and I feel like they're not getting as many opportunities in general. I feel like Blackhawks are beating them, like just in the midfield, like as a whole. I'm not sure if it's you're the boost guy, so I don't know. Is it because of the boost? I couldn't tell you, but I just felt like the control from Blackhawks is really, really impressive so far. In Origin, they got to figure out a way to get Blackhawks off the ball and kind of play. I wouldn't say faster, but just kind of more chaotic, because I feel like that's where Origin might kind of thrive.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Blackhawks took a page out of Origin's book from game number 1. There were a lot of times where they strung a lot of passing plays to break out of defense. We saw a lot of these plays where Juice Lo-Fi was kind of passing it to outlets for Perky or Kosh for them to go for solo plays, and then those turned into passes back out into the midfield. And I feel like it worked out really, really well for the Blackhawks, because their solo plays in general are really threatening. But when you give a good pass to a player who is already beaten one guy on the opposing roster, I mean, it's so much more threatening when it's a 2v1 or a 2v2. And I think that the Blackhawks played that really well. They also went for a lot of demos, and they're absolutely tearing up the Origin defense from that aspect as well. Kind of taking a page out of Rockerman's playbook. He's really known for these heavy demos, and I feel like Origin just played a little panicky. I don't think they were necessarily boost starved that well, but I think that they didn't hold on to the pressure and play their defense the way they needed to. I feel like Hunzer was a little bit lackluster in his clears. We know he's able to take a lot of possession out of the backfield and turn that into counterattacks, but it felt like he was giving the possession away too frequently, and hopefully he's going to step up big, because I feel like he's been a little lackluster the entire series.
Yeah, Hunter, I feel like, has been a little quiet. It's been a lot of Rockerman getting the pass, and Rockerman maybe getting a goal. Juice, though, I feel like Juice has been making these last-second saves so many times. He's just able to get just in the right spot in the nick of time. Now Rockerman trying to make an opportunity happen there. He gets the bump, and no clear comes out from Perky either. Kosh going to take that one, gets it around one. Kosh now with a great 50, but Rockerman with a nice touch. Juice with 0 boost on the back wall, able to get the save, but the save comes out from Kosh as well. Origin gets shut out by Blackhawks when, honestly, Blackhawks had maybe 5 boosts in their tank combined, and now an opportunity for Blackhawks. That great save there from Hunzer, but it just felt like that was an opportunity for Origin, and man, Blackhawks, they shut the door on them.
Yeah, I mean, you could always say that Origin needs to shoot the ball better in that situation. It feels like with 0 boost, you can only cover so much of the net. If you placed it better into the corners, then you probably would score there. But I just don't know what to say about that. I feel like Origin kind of threw away a couple of their chances. Blackhawks played great defense. And, I mean, obviously Blackhawks are going to hold on. But it seems like Origin is playing very aggressive early, trying to make sure that they are able to get the first goal.
Yeah, Origin, I feel like they kind of need it. It's Game 6 for Forbidden Temple. They want to make something happen here. Air Sweeney maybe looking for that shot there. Not going to happen as Hunter trying to continue this pressure. That shot off the corner, or sorry, off the sidewall, but a great challenge there from Kosh, as now Perky going to elect to leave that one. Juice off the sidewall. Juice going for the double. That one going to be on target. Oh my goodness, Juice. But Hunter with the save. Juice back out to Kosh. Kosh with the fake. Perky able to pop that one up high. Perky not going to get the 50 though, as Rockerman going to try to get the 50, but Perky just immediately challenges, and Kosh already up there with with Hunzer as Rockerman now able to launch that one high. Hunter got the demo, but no pressure here really from Origin as Air Sweeney tried to pass that ball mid, but Hunter sitting all the way back. Zero boost, has to clear it to his own corner. Rockerman trying to get a beat on one. Kosh not able to get the touch. Rockerman able to get a touch on that one as well. Juice not jumping for it. Air Sweeney with not a great touch, so Perky and Juice combined. Oh my gosh, there was a demo in the back end. I didn't even notice. And Hunzer, he couldn't get back to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great demo on the third man, especially by Kosh there. And it looks like maybe a little bit of a pinch. Hunzer not going to be able to react in time to that one. And I mean, a good counterattack by Blackhawks, just taking advantage of that demo in the midfield. And I mean, it's a great counterattack play, something we haven't had to see them pull out of their bag of tricks yet. But I mean, when you're taking down the one seed or taking on the one seed specifically, I mean, you got to pull out all the stops. You got to continuously change up their play style, and I mean, I think that Blackhawks have played really well. Another shot coming out, Kosh able to just slot that one in the back of the net.
Yeah, it is just a beautiful, I mean, a great touch there from Juice. That was almost on target, but Kosh able to just get a touch on it. And pass two as well. There were still two defenders in net, and so, like, it's not an easy shot to place. And with halfway through this game, and Origin, I hate to say this, Cancun's calling. And it's coming on quickly. 2.5 minutes to change your fate, or you'll start booking some flights right now. As Kosh with one touch, Juice Lo-Fi able to get the follow up as Rockerman with a nice 50, but Hunter able to get the beat. He does that. That one looked a little shaky, but Rockerman still able to get that ball across the second man, just not ready for it. That one a little too fast. Hunter pops that ball up high. Perky, first one there, though. That ball's dropping straight down. It was a double commit from Air Sweeney. Oh, my goodness. And it was a fake from Kosh. I thought Kosh had the touch, but it was a fake for Juice. But Air Sweeney and Rockerman double committed for that one again, by the way. That's why they had a free shooting opportunity. Rockerman now trying to get a double towards the midfield as Kosh, one touch, trying to get a follow-up, but Air Sweeney with a nice 50. Air Sweeney gets the 100 pad, but it's going to be Perky over to Juice. Juice with the shot. Hunter again with the goal line save, but Rockerman, he's going to be the one to get that follow as Air Sweeney gets a nice touch, a demo as well, and Hunter trying to get that one towards the corner. The bump came through, and Kosh gets pinched by the ball, and Juice trying to get a nice controlled touch, but it's going to be Hunzer passing that ball down, and Kosh able to get the long clear. A minute remaining. Rockerman has to get the touch, and he barely does. That one still floating up dangerously. Kosh with some time gets a fake on one, trying to get the 50 on the other. That one's going to pinch all the way down. Perky was in the right spot, though. Hunter, can he get the shot? No, he doesn't get the touch. Rockerman towards the back wall, but Perky's already there. Once again, Juice and Kosh double commit, but that ball's cleared out, and with 55 seconds left, Origin have to make something happen, and right now, Ventus, it doesn't look like they have much going for them.
Yeah, Origin trying to play scrappy, something where their rotations are like falling apart a little bit. They're not really playing to the best of their ability. They're just trying to get a goal. They're playing very erratically, trying to make a bunch of early commits, trying to keep a lot of pressure, and they end up double committing very frequently, not able to get a lot of the touches that they want. And I feel like they're starting to kind of down spiral here. Is they're starting to make too many bad challenges. The clock's still ticking down. And I think that Blackhawks might have this one in the bag unless something drastic happens.
Gotta be an absolute miracle. Rockerman used, someone used the admin perms and, like, changed the scoreboard. Let it go to overtime. Somebody make something happen here for Origin, because right now it's gonna be Blackhawks taking this one 4-2. A very solid win. Like, they just played super solid. Their pressure was really good. I mean, like, the defense, while shaky at times, didn't really give up that many goals. So they were able to just continuously, press, and they had that third man back. Usually it was Perky, and then sometimes Juice would have to make some like last second saves. But it just felt like as a whole, it was a very solid series. And to be honest, I can't say Origin played bad. I felt like they played really good. I just felt like they played a team where they just kind of got suffocated and got outplayed, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that the Blackhawks really stepped up their game. We didn't see them play great in their game against Warhawks. They were able to take that one in game six. But I think that they stepped up big time against Origin. I think that Origin didn't play bad at all, but I think that the offense from Blackhawks specifically started just turning up. I mean, we saw a bunch of these plays from Juice Lo-Fi where he's just putting absolute screamers on net off of a redirect pass from Perky, and I feel like the offense from the Blackhawks just found a new level, something where we were already really excited about their offensive potential, but they found another gear. They found another level to get to, and I think that that was the real difference maker because it's not like Origin played bad. So many of these games were really close where Origin was just hanging on. They had some good opportunities, but I just don't think that the defense was enough to hang on against this onslaught that Blackhawks was able to put up.
Vintage, I disagree, man. I felt like the Origin defense was like really like persistent and like annoying. Even it was just I felt like they forced Blackhawks to go into another gear, you know? Like, I felt like we hadn't seen that out of Blackhawks before because nobody tested them like that Origin defense did. I mean, like, they had 10 saves game one. They had 7 saves game 5. They had, I don't even know how many saves they had that last game, but I can tell you Hunzer had, like, 3 goal line saves at least. Like, they were not letting anything easy through, so I think Blackhawks were forced to take a step up, and you know what? Props to them. They did take that step up. So you know, as a whole, I felt like Origin they played really well, and I think their defense is what kept them in it. To be honest, the offense kind of felt stale and stagnant. Their second man, I felt like could have been there a little bit more frequently, but you know what? All they can do all they can do about it now is think, you know, what if? Because sadly, their season does end here, and you know, Ventus, we're gonna have to end it here for now. We're gonna be back in a couple minutes, but you know, it was a great series from Blackhawks and Origin. But now we got to figure out who are they going to play against because coming up right after this, we're going straight back to the Prospect League, and we've got the Melons, the boys. We got Gallium and the Melons versus the Velocity. I don't even know who's on that team. Don't matter. We got Melons. That's all I care about. That's who I'm watching. So gonna be excited for that one, Ventus. And you know, if you got nothing left, I think it's about time we head out of here.
Yeah, I mean, another great matchup is waiting for us. I won't take too much time because I think that we were really gifted a great showing between these two games. And for the first semifinals match, I couldn't have really asked for anything better. Obviously, you know, maybe a game 7, but I think both these teams played really well. The Blackhawks found another gear. They're gonna be waiting. They're gonna be watching to see who they're gonna be playing up against next. And I mean, this next matchup, you're not going to want to miss it either. And the Prospect Grand Finals will be announced. The two teams will be decided after this next game. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. And don't miss us too much.
Doses.